Hey everyone, welcome. Today, we are unpacking the exact blueprint of what makes a sports film truly unforgettable. We're looking right at the core visual and emotional elements that construct the incredibly immersive The Golden Pitch, a World Cup documentary chronicle. So, let's dive right into this. We aren't just talking about a game of football today. We are literally breaking down the anatomy of a cinematic experience. We're going to see how our source material demands a highly specific blend of technology, atmosphere, and raw human emotion to put you, the viewer, smack dab in the center of the stadium. Right off the bat, this source text anchors us with this massive psychological weight, preparing for the biggest match of their lives. I mean, this isn't just some weekend kickabout. Every single frame of this documentary carries the immense, almost suffocating tension of a World Cup final. We are stepping into a space where careers are defined and histories are written. And by grounding the narrative in the gravity of this moment, we are just watching athletes anymore. We are watching human beings on the absolute edge of greatness or heartbreak. Okay, so our chronological matchday arc breaks down into three distinct phases. First, we have the pre-match opening ceremony, then the intense kickoff action, and finally, those emotional final whistle celebrations. Section 1. Setting the epic stage. Building the global football spirit. So, before a single ball is even kicked, the documentary establishes this breathtaking scale by demanding a cinematic, ultra-realistic standard. What does that mean? Well, think 8K detail and hyper-realistic lighting. But the real secret sauce here, an absolute absence of artificial overlays like text or watermarks. You see, our brains instantly recognize on-screen graphics as artificial. It's a total immersion breaker. By stripping all of that away, the documentary removes the barrier between you and the event. You're no longer just a spectator sitting on a couch. That ultra-realism transports you directly into the stands. It's like you're actually there. This global spirit is really built on sensory overload. Just picture it, a massive stadium echoing with thousands of voices. A vibrant sea of passionate fans physically waving national flags, dramatic fireworks just cracking overhead during the opening ceremony, and it's all grounded in entirely realistic crowd reactions. This brilliantly illustrates how you build an epic sports atmosphere. You aren't just showing the grass on the pitch, you're showing the monumental scale of human convergence. You're showing the entire world coming together in one physical location. Section 2. Preparing for the match. The tension before kickoff. Now, as the players actually walk onto the pitch, the scale abruptly shrinks. Notice how the gladiatorial, super powerful stadium lights just isolate the stars from the crowd. The shadows are harsh, and the focus is absolute. In an arena of literally thousands of screaming people, the focus narrows entirely down to these few individuals who are carrying the weight of their entire nations. It's kind of like modern mythology unfolding in real time. And here we see a total masterclass in pacing. Deliberate, agonizingly slow-motion shots focus on the players taking deep breaths, the sweat dripping from their brows. It acts like a tightly coiled spring. And this tension makes the explosive, chaotic speed of the fast dribbling action feel that much more devastating when the whistle finally blows. It's absolutely crucial to realize how the documentary uses visual speed as a really profound storytelling tool. Section 3. Intense football action. Kinetic energy on the pitch. Once that whistle blows, man, the action is totally unrelentless. You've got chaotic, rapid-fire footwork cutting right through the defense, powerful shots releasing all of that pent-up tension, and desperate, split-second diving saves keeping hope alive. Fast dribbling, powerful shots, diving saves. The documentary strings all these amazing athletic action beats together to create an absolute fever pitch of on-field tension. But you know, all of this kinetic energy isn't just for show. It actively drives that epic sports atmosphere we've been talking about. You can't just simulate this kind of tension with fireworks and music. The physical reality of the sport, right there on the grass, is what makes the cinematic environment truly believable. Section 4. The emotional climax. The human element of the game. Because athletic perfection alone doesn't make a story resonate. The documentary finds its real heart up in the stands. We've all seen it, right? That one fan weeping uncontrollably in the crowd, grown adults crying with pure joy, or teammates locked in this exhausted, emotional embrace. These raw, realistic emotional anchors are the universal language of triumph and relief. They ground this incredibly massive documentary in genuine, totally relatable human reality. And it all builds up to this single, iconic image, the World Cup trophy shining under golden lights. This is the ultimate emotional and cinematic payoff of the entire matchday narrative arc. Every single bead of sweat, every diving save, every tear shed by those fans culminates right here.
That golden lighting isn't just a pretty aesthetic choice. It signifies completion, victory, and the true realization of that biggest match of their lives that we talked about at the very beginning.
Section 5. The Cinematic Technique. How the epic is captured.
So, how do you actually capture something this epic? Well, it requires a pretty rigid technical philosophy. You're deploying 8K ultra detail for absolute visual fidelity, alongside cinematic slow motion to really manipulate the drama. You're layering in these dramatic aerial drone shots and hyper-realistic lighting, all while making sure you keep that pristine, watermark-free documentary style. Every single tool on the cinematographer's checklist serves one ultimate goal: unbroken immersion. And those dramatic drone shots are absolutely vital. Think about it. After sweating under the lights with the players and feeling the raw emotion of the fans, pulling back to a sweeping aerial view provides this incredible macro perspective. It essentially transforms the stadium into a glowing coliseum, visually capturing the entire world's attention completely focused on one single plot of grass.
Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. We know the anatomy now, right? The 8K cameras, the slow motion, the raw human tears, the golden trophy. But when the golden lights finally fade and those dramatic drone shots end, what is the lasting image of the global football spirit? Is it the technical perfection of the cinematography or the raw emotion it captures? I'd argue it's the magical synthesis of both. Thanks so much for diving into the golden pitch with me today. Next time you watch a match, I highly challenge you to look for the anatomy behind the lens. See you next time.